I don't know what that means, to play us out. What does that mean? To end the show? Yeah. All right, go.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 celebrity meltdowns.
This is interesting, Tom. We've never seen you behave this way before.
I know.
Have you ever felt this way before?
For this list, we'll be looking at the cases in which your favorite and not so favorite celebrities lost their cool. Which of these superstar flip-outs do you think was the most unwarranted? Let us know in the comments. Number 20, Billie Joe Armstrong. If for 1 minute you thought Billie Joe Armstrong was Justin Bieber, he certainly put you straight at the 2012 iHeartRadio Festival.
I'm not Justin Bieber, you.
There's still quite some argument about what led to this rock star's outburst.
Jesus Christ, we've got 4 minutes left.
But the general gist is that Armstrong and his band Green Day had been allotted a 45-minute set at the event, only to have their time cut short because Usher took up too much. If true, then it clearly didn't go down well with him.
Las Vegas!
Armstrong launched into an expletive-filled tirade that ended with him smashing his guitar on stage. The band later apologized for the incident, but we gotta say, it was very rock and roll.
I got 1 minute left. Oh, now I got nothing left. Let me show you what 1 minute means.
Number 19, KASEM. When your radio career lasts as long as KASEM's did, chances are you'd be caught losing your cool at least once.
Favorite numbers from 1 to 10. Casey?
Starting off tonight's list at number 10.
KASEM's radio shows were known for the long-distance dedication segments in which listeners requested songs for their remote loved ones. In this particular incident, which was actually an outtake later posted online, KASEM received a request from someone wishing to dedicate a tune to his deceased canine.
Recently, there was a death in our family. He was a little dog named Snuggles, but he was most certainly a part of... Let's go start again.
But as heartfelt as this sounds, KASEM didn't appreciate having to make the clunky segue from an energetic track to the tragic topic, and he didn't hesitate to voice out his displeasure.
I want a goddamn concerted effort to come out of a record that isn't a up-tempo record every time I do a goddamn death dedication.
Note to self, just like oil and water, up-tempo songs and dead dogs don't mix.
This is last goddamn time I want somebody to use his brain to not come out of a goddamn record that is that's up-tempo, and I gotta talk about a dog dying.
Number 18, Andrew Dice Clay. If you're looking for a family-friendly comedian, Andrew Dice Clay certainly won't be your first draft pick.
You were a headline guy.
I'm still a headline guy, you know what I mean?
Clay's vulgar alter ego, the Dice Man, seemed to rear his head in this unforgettable CNN interview. Clearly, not everyone likes to be reminded that their career is no longer as great as it once used to be.
This is ridiculous. I come on CNN, and the guy don't even know what he's talking about. Go ahead.
You at no point were you running a gym?
And when this interviewer alluded to that and asked about the gym he was allegedly running, the Dice Man completely flipped out.
Every time I do an interview, a guy wants to open his mouth. Can't even
Andrew,
do a little
thank you very much.
here.
Curse words abound before Clay decides he's had enough and just walks right out of the studio. But out of sight is definitely not out of mind for the Dice Man.
All right.
Number 17, Chris Brown. It certainly wasn't a good morning for R&B singer Chris Brown when he appeared on Good Morning America in 2011 to promote his album Fame. During an interview with co-anchor Robin Roberts, Brown was asked about the 2009 altercation with his now ex Rihanna and the subsequent restraining order placed on him.
Recently, the restraining order against you that Rihanna had issued has been relaxed. Have you all seen each other, been around each other?
I mean, not really.
After the interview and a brief performance, Brown reportedly threw a fit backstage, angrily walking into his dressing room and breaking a window. He later apologized for his behavior on the program, claiming to have been thrown off by Robert's line of questioning.
This album is what I want them to talk about and not the stuff that happened 2 years ago.
The show's anchors extended another invitation out to him following the apology.
They told us this just so they can get us on the show to exploit me. You know, that's what I thought, you know? And so I took it very, very hard.
Number 16, Billy Joel.
Take control, get a hold of my emotions. Stop whining the audience.
It might seem fun to tour and travel all over the world, but in reality, it can also be completely exhausting. That exhaustion can wear a performer down, and for Billy Joel, being on the road for 11 months made him a powder keg waiting to explode. In 1987, Joel toured the Soviet Union, even spending over $2 million of his own money to cover production costs.
Told me there's a number I can always dial. Let me do my show, for Christ's sake!
But when the film crew turned their lights on the audience instead of the singer-songwriter, he found his breaking point and completely lost it. Although the show very much went on.
I'll shoot her with the better if I had her here to hold me. Better baby, but believe me, it's the next best thing.
Number 15, Meatloaf. He might do anything for love, but he draws the line at letting anyone get away with stealing his art supplies. In the realm of reality television, we expect plenty of drama, but this explosive confrontation still managed to catch everyone off guard.
I bought those mother sponges. Part of that paint is mine. I'm sick and tired of you mother. No.
Maybe it's because they're celebrities and we kind of expect them to try to keep their cool in front of or near the cameras, even if this entire list proves otherwise. Hey, it's not every day that you can say that you dropped so many F-bombs that you had to be held back by Mark McGrath and Lil Jon. Number 14, Justin Bieber. Puberty can be rough, but it's even worse when the entire world is watching you. Since becoming a teen idol in the late 2000s, Bieber has been met with equal parts undying love from his fans and venomous vitriol from his critics. And it's clearly taken a toll on the young Canadian. In addition to being arrested for alleged drunk driving, resisting arrest, and drug possession, the Biebs also refused to finish a concert in Norway in 2015 after some water was spilled on stage.
Guys, never mind. I'm done. I'm not doing the show.
His behavior was so bad that China banned him from performing in their country, as they feared he'd corrupt their youth. Number 13, David Hasselhoff. A cheeseburger, alcohol, a concerned daughter, and a video camera. These things all came together to form a recipe for pure WTF, so much so that even the Hoff has poked fun at himself about it. As you watch the former Baywatch star at his absolute worst, you can hear his daughter pleading with him to stop drinking as he clumsily eats a burger while sprawled out on the floor. Deeply undignified, the video was a form of tough love, as Hasselhoff was attempting to recover from alcohol use disorder, but caught mid-relapse during what ended up being one hell of a meme-worthy wake-up call.
How far have you fallen?
Number 12, David O. Russell.
Passive-aggressive.
Shut up.
Aggressive.
We expect directors to push their cast to the absolute best, but some take things a bit too far. Case in point, David O. Russell. Nearly every movie he directs gives rise to a story about his terrible behavior towards the cast, but it was I Heart Huckabees that led to the mother of all meltdowns.
Yell at me in front of the crew when I'm trying to help you. Figure it out yourself.
Actress Lily Tomlin took Russell's explosive blow-up in stride, probably because Russell had pushed all of her buttons in an earlier car scene.
Do you know what the going on, period? You. I've had it up to here.
In the end, both sides later claimed to have great respect and love for each other, saying the situation was similar to a familial fight.
I mean, David is a great filmmaker. He's just a young guy. He's barely coming into his time. And we were bad. We were both bad, volatile, bad, hot under the collar, you know.
Number 11, Bill O'Reilly.
So if they want to go and do it, you can't stop them. Now, you could punish them.
Everybody knows Bill O'Reilly as the intellectual yet pompous host of The O'Reilly Factor on Fox News. And it's not like he suddenly developed a temper out of nowhere.
I don't know what that means, to play us out. What does that mean? To end the show?
Yeah.
All right, go.
Back in 1989, he joined Inside Edition for a 6-year run before leaving to study at Harvard. And during one particular taping, a teleprompter malfunction put O'Reilly into beast mode.
I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live! Do it live!
Notice the stern conviction as he attempts to process the madness before taking command of the situation like a playground persecutor. Like a true pro, however, O'Reilly sported a grin and nailed the line, which didn't necessarily require a teleprompter to begin with. Number 10, Bjork. By 1996, the Icelandic singer known as Björk had released 2 acclaimed solo albums upon leaving the Sugar Cubes. But as she strolled her son through Bangkok International Airport, she offered up yet another unforgettable hit by swiftly kicking the ass of a stunned reporter who said, "Welcome to Bangkok." There's really no excuse for such aggressive behavior, but in defense of Björk, she later claimed the same paparazzo had been on her tail for days. This singer may be small in stature, but her agility proved to be cat-like given her MMA-style takedown.
Was that the monster you were talking about?
I think so.
The monster came out really big time then?
Yeah, and I was just watching like the rest of the people.
Oh, you were out of yourself?
Well, it was a bit of out of experience, I have to say so.
Number 9. Christian Bale.
Hey, it's f***ing distracting having somebody walking up behind Bryce in the middle of the f***ing scene. Give me a f***ing answer!
Kick back, close your eyes, and listen to one of the most dedicated actors of modern times lose it. To be fair, maybe it should have seemed obvious to cinematographer Shane Hurlbut not to walk around while Christian Bale was in the ultimate actor's zone. But that's what happened, and John Connor dropped a flurry of F-bombs to convey his disapproval.
I'm gonna f***ing kick your f***ing ass. You don't shut up for a second, all right?
When someone's deep in character, you never know what kind of energy they possess. In this case, Bale maintained a certain sense of honor, but in a most obnoxious way.
I tell you, he's treated me worse than that jerk Christian Bale did.
Once the clip went viral, it became a source for endless parodies, though Bale did eventually apologize.
I acted like a punk. I regret that. And there is nobody that has heard that tape that is hit harder by it than me.
Number 8. Alec Baldwin. As the daughter of a famous Hollywood couple, Ireland Baldwin surely has many stories to tell.
You won't make me ashamed of myself. I can't be bought by you or anybody.
While she's a 6'2" fashion model today, Papa Alec Baldwin referred to her as a, quote, rude, thoughtless little pig back in 2007.
You are a rude, thoughtless little pig.
The meltdown transpired when 11-year-old Ireland failed to answer a scheduled phone call from her dad.
I stop whatever I'm doing, and I go when I make that phone call. At 11 o'clock in the morning in New York, and if you don't pick up the phone, at 10 o'clock at night, and you don't even have that goddamn phone turned on.
Given the voicemail, it's likely that Alec had a bit more on his mind than bad manners.
You've made me feel like shit, and you've made me feel like a fool over and over and over again.
Perhaps the most memorable part comes when he threatens to fly to LA for the day with the sole purpose of, quote, straightening his daughter out. Fortunately, the two were able to poke fun at the incident in 2015.
If I were a pig, I would be rude and thoughtless, of course. This was a team effort. Alec also made light of his leaked voicemail on Instagram, posting this photo with the caption, "I'd be rude and thoughtless. That's the only pig to be."
Number 7. Michael Richards. If you're going to be a comedian, you're going to get some hecklers. Some comedians daydream about heckling the heckler at their job. Others have a series of no comeback slams locked and loaded. And then there's Michael Richards. Perhaps attempting to be ironic, perhaps attempting to take a re-heckle to the extreme, Richards instead ended up being unforgivably offensive. Spitting out a major racial slur, TV's Kramer also hurled a series of misguided jokes that probably didn't have the effect he was going for. Instead of shocking audiences into uneasy laughter or silence, he basically wrote off his career.
Oh my God. Look, I made a mistake. It's been 3 years. Don't hurt me.
Number 6. Will Smith. The 94th Academy Awards had all the drama. Inappropriate jokes, an infamous slap, an expletive-laden rant, a tearful apology, oh, and some awards were handed out too, of course. Indeed, the most talked-about moment from the 2022 Oscars was when actor Will Smith strode across the stage and smacked presenter Chris Rock in the face.
Oh, Richard! Oh, wow!
Rock had made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head that wasn't received well by her husband. Of course, in a very Hollywood turn of events, Smith would go on to win the Oscar for Best Actor shortly after, setting the stage for a tearful apology to everyone but Rock. His actions earned him a 10-year ban from any Academy event. Number 5. Tom Cruise.
That's how I feel about it.
It was a strange time in 2005. It was the year YouTube was first introduced, and it was the year that a love-struck Tom Cruise went completely bananas on Oprah's couch.
This is interesting, Tom. We've never seen you behave this way before.
I know.
Have you ever felt this way before?
After all, he was in the early stages of a relationship with actress Katie Holmes.
Nothing's more important than my wife and my children.
Though Cruise never seems to age on screen, nobody expected him to behave like a teenager celebrating his first kiss when he was over 40.
Are you sleeping? Are you getting enough sleep?
Who really knows what happened that day, or more importantly, why?
I'm engaged, I'm going to be married, and I can't restrain myself, you know? You've got kids.
However, the moment ultimately became one of the first viral sensations.
I know that psychiatry is a pseudoscience.
As we've seen over the years, Cruise hasn't been shy about communicating his philosophies on the public stage, and the couch incident was the beginning of it all. Number 4, Kanye West.
I am the #1 most impactful artist of our generation. I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google.
We know, this one is pretty obvious. In fact, it's kind of a staple whenever you talk about celebrity meltdowns. We could show a montage of uncomfortable interviews where Kanye goes completely off kilter, makes odd statements where you're left scratching your head.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers.
Rants through his own concerts for nearly 20 minutes and makes political campaign promises for the year 2020. While Ye may have mental health issues, things have come to a point where there are so many random Yeezy moments that are deeply offensive or outrageous that it's hard to even care about what comes out of his mouth.
I didn't take it as a joke. It ain't no joke, as Rakim said.
Number 3, Shia LaBeouf. Oh, Louis Stevens, what happened to you?
I'm thinking of throwing in some more movements here and there.
There are a plethora of stories about child stars who lose themselves in the craziness of Hollywood, but there's something almost mystifying about Shia LaBeouf, who screams at us to just do it.
Do it! Just do it!
Wears paper bags and streams videos of himself watching his own movies.
So you wore that.
Yeah.
All right.
It's generally harmless behavior, until you get into his numerous arrests and outrageous outbursts. Each time, he seems to learn his lesson, until he gets in trouble for the same disorderly conduct, going through the cycle of meltdown, apologize, and repeat once again. It certainly makes you hope that the worst is over for him and the people around him. Number 2, Mel Gibson.
You ever go fishing? Oh, not since I was a kid. I used to go spearfishing with a snorkel.
From the craziness of a young sex symbol to the madness of Mad Max, Mel Gibson is a celebrated actor and director regardless of what you think of him.
Absolutely. Sounds horrible. And I'm ashamed of that. That came out of my mouth.
But he's said some cuckoo stuff, and unfortunately for him, a lot of it has been caught on tape. Of course, there's his reported anti-Semitic tirade after being pulled over by the Malibu 5-0 in 2006. Although he's exhibited a long history of controversial statements, he still managed to shock us even more with a 2010 meltdown recorded by ex-girlfriend Oksana Grigorieva.
I don't believe you anymore!
What did he just say?
Has any relationship ever worked with you? No!
As talented as Mel Gibson may be, the collection of meltdowns reveal a man unafraid to unleash his verbal venom.
Thanks a lot for joining us, Mel. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Charlie Sheen.
And if people think I'm insane or they don't think that what I'm saying is true, then I have no interest.
Consider this. Mainstream media often criticizes young actresses for their epic meltdowns. But in the case of Charlie Sheen, everybody seemed rather content with, or at least tolerant of, the meltdown.
Because that's how I roll. I have one speed, I have one gear. Go!
Why? Because he seemed to be having so much fun. Sex workers, illegal substances, winning, right?
And by winning, I win here and I win there. Now what?
Apparently so, because Sheen's bizarre 2011 rants actually led to a Comedy Central roast in which fellow celebrities snickered away at his death-defying antics. It's no secret that Sheen loves him some women and nose candy. Yet, he was at his worst during his infamous interview with ABC News.
The period that you went through, what do you refer to that as? Is it...
I was calling it a meltdown, but then I sort of changed my perspective and I'm calling it a melt forward.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.